Welcome back to Distilled Tarot. My name's Shannon. I'll be guiding you through today's reading. This is a timeless reading for Virgo Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or wherever Virgo falls in your chart. Crosswatchers also welcome. And my intention for this reading is to help you come into better alignment with your highest good in this moment. Let's see what's going on with Virgo. First card out, we have the Knight of Swords, the investigator. You are taking action based on your personal truth, moving forward swiftly. You have a specific goal in mind. It feels very investigative. It feels like you're getting to the bottom of something, but with a purpose, with a constructive purpose. You're not trying to find out if anyone is lying. It's more like gathering information for something you want to build. The challenge. We have the High Priestess in reverse. Okay, so you're a bit at odds right now with your intuition and your rational mind. These two can work in harmony. They can. It's challenging sometimes. And I'm a Virgo rising, so I get that sort of like practical approach, that analytical. If I apply my analytical skills, then I get a good practical outcome. And how do you factor in your intuition to that? That's your challenge right now. Because I see, perhaps, okay, for some of you, it's like you're letting your intuition guide you too much, because I can see this coming through in a way of, like the challenge is how do you let your intuition take a backseat and your rational mind to take the lead? So it's you have to determine what fits your situation if this is your reading. It's going to be opposite for some of you. Some of you have a hard time discerning, like, well, is that just what I think, or is that my intuition, or am I just feeling afraid? Yeah, some of you want to block out your intuition because you can't discern between fear and a premonition of danger. What's the no, we already got the challenge. What is Virgo focused on? Judgment in reverse. There's something that's trying to come back into your life and you don't want to let it. Now it is Venus retrograde right now. If you want to know about your area of life that could be affecting, look at what house Aries falls in your chart. Everyone has Aries in their chart. Even if you don't have a planet in Aries, it still occupies a house in your wheel. You have to look at the style of astrology that's in a wheel, and you'll be able to look at the meanings of that house. So if you have Aries in the 4th house, that's going to be things surrounding your family, your heritage, your home, your physical living space, your father, that sort of thing. So each house has its own meaning, and this isn't an astrology reading, but that it wants to come through because there's something that wants to come back into your life. It's going to be in the area of life represented by where Aries falls in your chart, because that's where Venus is retrograde right now. And I think some of you, it could be just helpful to hear that there's like an astrological reason for the energies of like something trying to like force its way back into your life that you thought was dead, done, and over with. And you're like, oh, why is this like zombie aspect of my life somehow up and around and walking and entering my life again? Like, no, I thought this was in my past. I don't want this anymore. Show me the recent past. What led up to this? Two of Wands in reverse. You chose not to take a certain path. And it's from the path untaken that these things are sort of creeping back into your life. For some of you, it's a relationship. It's someone that you never really started with, but they feel like there's unfinished business. So they're reaching back out to you with this Venus retrograde energy of like, hey, I always wondered what things would have been like if, you hadn't moved to whatever. If you hadn't exited my life, what would it look like? Or I've just been thinking about you. What are you up to? I miss you. Can we reconnect? You chose not to take a certain path, but there are echoes from that untaken path that are apparently still alive. The reason this is all happening is, well, I can tell you what I'm getting off of this is that you're going to be disinterested. They're coming back around. They're going to make an offer. You're not going to want the offer. There's some sort of positive reasoning or outcome to why that would occur, and I'm just like, well, why? What is it? To hone your discernment, Queen of Swords energy. Maybe you need to believe in your rational process a bit more. This is a getting to know yourself phase. And by going through this dealing with the echoes of the past, you're going to get to, sounds freaking corny, you're going to meet yourself. It's like you don't know how you would behave or really who you are if you're not put in these certain situations. And it's not so that Source or Creator or the universe can test you or anything like that, at least not in this situation. This feels very much like a universe holding up a mirror to you so that you can see yourself. And it's for the purpose of you getting to know yourself, who you are in this situation. It's going to be important for how you hold yourself moving forward. Could have to do with self-confidence, definitely about self-image, and most likely about this balance that we talked about at the beginning with your rational mind versus your intuition, and how you balance that or integrate those two very important parts of yourself and your worldview, and how you parse information. Oh, interesting. They give me like what you leave yourself open to. Okay. This is very like vague, but I'll speak it because it's coming through. It has to do with like information coming through that you could pick up on intuitively, just in general in life, for you moving through life. And the way that you're set up now, through your experiences, the way that you sense and perceive and absorb such information, whatever you're going through now with this echoes from the past coming into your life, how you instinctively deal with and process what you're going through right now is going to help you understand yourself and your ability to perceive your intuition, process information that you receive intuitively, and the way that you make decisions based on that. You're going to come to trust it more. But it's very much about like solidifying with proof. You have a hard time believing in things that you don't have evidence for. And this experience is going to give you some evidence. In a way that's going to be enough for you. And I don't think it's going to be evidence that, like, you'll be able to show other people and they would come to the same conclusion. But for you, it's going to crystallize in some sense of like, okay, when I feel this feeling inside, then I am going to correlate that with a certain outcome. And then sorry, I'm in the weeds here of describing it. The Queen of Swords can read between the lines. She's swords, she's the mind, she's intellect, but she's very highly intuitive. This is the integration of those two energies. This is like acting on your rational mind and your intuitive mind simultaneously. She is the one who, because she knows and understands all the facts, she can read between the lines. Let's say she has a graph and a chart of all the information that she needs in order to know the truth about anything. And it's blank, but this is her system for doing it. And she gathers this piece of information and that piece and that piece. And before the entire chart is filled out, it has enough of a picture that she can fill in the rest, read between the lines, and see the truth that is there, that is not being like documented. It's not like tangible, but it's real. And she can see it. And that is her power. That is what gives her power. That's why she's the queen. She is armed with truth, but her ability to parse through partial information and fill in the gaps with her intuition is still rational mind thinking. It's just employing, it's not like this woo-woo, like, I feel tingles, so X, Y, and Z. It's still based in the rational mind, but it's blending this intuitive element into it. And I think that's really part of the key for you here and why you're going through this experience. Show me the near future. We have the Five of Wands in reverse. There's something that you expect to be very challenging, that you're going to step out on that stage or walk through that experience, and it's not going to be the way you expect it to be. There aren't going to be challengers, or it's not going to be as combative. I don't really have much of an indication here in the cards in terms of what sort of situation you're moving through, but whatever it is that you're expecting, like people to put up a fight or for there to be a lot of competition in whatever it is you're going for, it's not going to be the case. It's going to be a lot easier than you expect it to be. Your surprise. We have two major arcana both in the reverse. We have the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, and we have the Sun in the reverse. Okay. With this echoes from the past coming back around, that's very much this, it pairs with this Wheel of Fortune in reverse energy of like getting a second or third chance at the same situation. But the Sun in reverse, it could be that whenever this energy has come into your life in the past, it's been exciting, it's been interesting, it's been desirable, but you didn't take that path. It's the path you didn't take, right? This time around, it's not going to be desirable. The sun isn't going to be shining on it. It's not going to light up and sparkle when you see it. You could have these feelings of unfinished business with the path untaken. And I think maybe part of what's going to surprise you is this time when it comes around, you're not going to want it. And it will feel like you found a resolution. Let's say there's someone that you almost dated, but it never quite became a relationship. And so there's always this thing in the back of your mind, no matter what relationship you're in or if you're single, like, oh, maybe I'll end up reconnecting with so-and-so. There was interest there. There's still mutual affection. We're still in touch every once in a while. I bet the universe will bring us back together at some point. That's occupying space in your hopes and dreams. It's occupying space in your heart and your mind. And I think part of the clearing that Venus in retrograde is doing right now is to bring that back around, to shine a light on it, to see that it doesn't light up as a sparkly, interesting opportunity when the sun shines on it this time around. It's like, oh, that's old. That's dusty. That's something that I don't want anymore. And knowing that is going to free up all that space in your mind and your heart. It's not going to feel like unfinished business anymore. And trust me when I say, when you move forward after having cleared that, it might not have even felt like it was occupying any space in your existence, but you will feel lighter. You'll feel clearer. You will look at new opportunities slightly differently because you will have kind of cleared the board from this unfinished business. Show me hopes and fears. We have the Knight of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. For some of you, you really thought that the unfinished business, the person that you never really started a relationship with, you thought they were marriage material. You thought there was someone who could create this sense of stability in your life, someone who would be a reliable partner, who would make the offer and stick to it. Like this, they're a safe choice. And someone who would have gotten you across the finish line, quote unquote, when it comes to like the white picket fence, the house with 2.5 kids or whatever the statistic is now. Maybe it's down to like 1.7 or something. But the big milestone, the getting married, the whatever it is for you next in life, some sort of milestone, you want that for yourself. And I think part of you envisioned this person that you haven't really walked alongside for any extended period of time. You thought that it's going to be them or someone like them. But obviously you never chose them. You never let that materialize. And I think you're going to see that you're ready to let that go. And the space that's left once you clear the board of that path not taken, unfinished business sort of energy is really going to, well, I don't know how you're subjectively going to experience it, but from my perspective, it looks a lot brighter, a lot less cluttered, a lot freer and more nimble to move through life and make choices and experience good things in life. Your end result, we have the Page of Wands and Strength. You're going to feel like a bigger, better version of yourself at the culmination of all this, but at the same time, you're going to feel kind of renewed and like more youthful. Like, oh, okay, I'm back at the beginning of something. but in an exciting way. Like, I have a fresh start. I have a blank slate. I can move in any direction I want. You'll have a curiosity about things, but paired with a confidence in yourself. Do you know that sort of cliched adage of like, youth is wasted on the young? And like, gosh, if I could go back and do it all again with what I know now, things would be so much different. That's the energy that's coming through with this. Is this wisdom that comes with having lived a while and gone through a lot of life experience, but paired with this getting to do it all over again, or getting to have this like fresh new take on life, this fresh new approach, and take actions in that way. Let's get you some advice. Based on Virgo's current trajectory in this situation, how can they best harness these energies for their highest good? We have the Nine of Swords and Death. Okay, so it's important to let things go. The things that are keeping you up at night, the things that are causing you grief, shame, doubt. Some of you, this path that you haven't taken, the path not taken, there's some shadow energy there. There's some like, I'm ashamed of what happened. I feel guilty for what happened. So if you're harboring those sorts of feelings and it's connected to the things in the past and it comes back around, part of this coming back around is to allow you to shed this grief and shame and self-doubt and guilt, like once and for all, to make peace with it within yourself. You're going to have an opportunity to do so, and your advice is when the opportunity comes along, make a clean cut. Cut the ties and move forward and let it fade into the past of your life. So we have the opportunity to revive something from the grave, so to speak, that metaphor of like, judgment is in a graveyard, and the metaphor is there are things that have died in your life, and you're in a position to like bring these things back to life and let it live again in your life, or to leave them in the ground and let them die and let them fade into the past. These are all metaphors, you guys. And then we have your advice being the Death card. Like, okay, let it die, but then Spirit pairs it with this energy of like grief, shame, doubt, guilt, sleepless nights, stress. You're going to be able to, when you let something die, metaphorically speaking, you're going to be able to shed this feeling as well that's attached to whatever that is, that's unfinished business in your life that pops up from now and again. You think that somehow it might be part of your future. You have a chance here to cut ties with it and not only have that fresh new start, that excellent like pairing of the Page of Wands and Strength energy in your outlook and the way that you move through life moving forward, but also shedding this shadow aspect. So whatever you're feeling guilty about or ashamed of, that can also really fade into your past in a big way. You have this pivot point that you're moving through now, and it's your choice to make. But if you make that choice and you stick to it and you make that clean cut, a clean break, and move forward, it can really benefit you in your future. So Virgo, I'm going to leave it there. Take care. I hope this helped. Have a great day. And sorry, I'm getting mixed up on my outro here. Have a great day, and I will see you back next time. Bye.